Hi, welcome to this 16th and final video on shortcut keys of Microsoft Excel. If you have not watched other 15 videos, I will share the link on the description. Let us move on to this video of other shortcut keys, left out shortcut keys. We have seen the shortcut keys in category wise, right? Now there are some left out shortcut keys available. We will see that left out shortcut keys. Okay, so let's take this file where I have list of sheets. Let me go to the first sheet. In Excel, even you can use the spelling checking. You can check the spelling and grammars in Excel also. Not like Word. In Word, whenever you type something, it will show you the red alert. This is a spelling mistake. But here in Excel, you have to use the shortcut key for checking the spelling and grammars. So let us use the shortcut key, that is F7. F7 is the shortcut key for checking spelling and grammars. Now when I press F7, you can see that here there is a spelling mistake here. It's giving a suggestion to change it to here. So I can click on change. So to check the spelling and grammars, the shortcut key is F7. Right? Suppose I want to know a meaning of a word. Theresis or a meaning of a word. Synonyms of a particular word. So we have checked the spelling and grammars. For example, let us take this word called as note. For this note, I want to give some other word, alternative word or meaning for this. So you can use another shortcut key, Shift F7. When I press Shift F7, it's giving other equivalent word. We call it as theresis or synonyms. So if you want to replace it with word, so instead of the note, I want to give some other like letter, a reminder, I want to give some other things. So let us say I want to give it as memo. So you can select that memo and you can click on it. So suppose if I click on this memo and I can say insert. So instead of the word note, memo is inserted here. Okay, Shift F7. And if you want to record a macro, anyway, we have going to be seeing a separate series of videos about macros. How to record a macros, how to view the macros, how to edit the macros. Suppose if you have already recorded a macro, I want to see the macros. So Alt F8 will be the shortcut key for seeing the macros. What are all the macros available? The macros will be listed here. You can run the macro, you can edit the macro, you can create a new macro, you can delete that macro. Alt F8 will be the shortcut key. Now let me close this window and I am also closing this traces window. Now I want to see the macro which I have written. Recording and playing is fine. I want to see the macro. So you can use another shortcut key, Alt F11. So Alt F11, function F11, Alt F11, which will go to the VBA, Visual Basics application, where you can see the macros, you can record and you can see the macros also here. Once again, if you want to come back to the Excel again, you can press same Alt F11. Come back to the Excel once. Okay. Now in this sheet, you can see there are on the right hand side of some cells, there are some indicators available. That means we are given some comment on this. Some comment has been given. I want to select all the cells where the comment is available. There will be multiple cells where the comments are available. I want to see all the cells where the comments are available. Ctrl Shift O. Ctrl Shift O is the shortcut key which will select all the cells where we are given a comment. Okay, Ctrl Shift O. Right. Now let me go to the next sheet. You can click somewhere else to come back to the normal cell. Okay, I'll go to the next sheet. Here there are some columns available: manufacturer, brand names, January, February, March, Q1 total, April, May, June, Q2's total. Now I want to group it. For example, I want to group this. I want to see only the grand total of this Chevrolet. What is the grand total of this? Or Ford, I want to see the grand total. You can group it. How can I group this is, select this row starting from 2. I am selecting till this and I want to group this. To group it, the shortcut key is Alt Shift right arrow. Alt Shift right arrow, you can see it will be grouped. Where we can see 1 and 2. There is a grouping option available here, 1 and 2. So if you click on 2, you can see if you click on 1, it compresses and it shows only the grand total of it. If you click on 2, once again it expands. So Ctrl Shift right arrow. If you don't want the group, if you want to ungroup it, Ctrl Shift left arrow is for ungrouping. Ctrl Shift left arrow is for ungrouping. So let me do it once again. Ctrl Shift right arrow. I have grouped this. Similarly, this Ford, I want to group it. Ctrl Shift right arrow. And grand total is available. I want to group everything, entire table, starting from the starting till this, till the end. I want to group it. So Control, I am setting the entire table till the grand total. Now I press Ctrl Shift right arrow. One more time, you can see there is a big grouping available here, 1, 2, and 3. So entire thing has been grouped together. So that means if I click on 1, it shows only the grand total. If you click on 2, you can see it shows the subtotal of each thing. If you click on 3, it shows the entire table black. 1, which will show you only the grand total. 2, which will show you the subtotal and grand total. 3 will give you the entire table black. This can be done not only with row wise, this can be done by column wise also. For example, I want to group this January, February and March. Sorry, Alt Shift right arrow, which will be used for grouping. Similarly, this quarter 2, I want to group it, Alt Shift right arrow. So if you don't want the group, Alt Shift left arrow. Okay. Now this part, I don't want this 1, 2, 3 and 1. I want to hide it temporarily. Temporarily, I want to hide it. We have a shortcut key, Ctrl 8. Ctrl 8 is the shortcut key for hiding that grouping and ungrouping options available here. Outline, which we call it as outline symbols. This is called as outline symbols. It will hide it. Same if you want to unhide it, same Ctrl 8 is for unhiding. Ctrl 8 is for hiding. Ctrl 8 is for unhiding. If you don't want the group, once again you can select everything and you can say ungroup. If you say everything, I don't want the grouping itself, totally I want to remove the grouping, select the entire thing and you can press Alt Shift left arrow for ungrouping everything. Alt Shift left arrow, which will ungroup everything. Right? Now let us go to the next part. I will go to the sheet number 3. This table I want to make it as a dynamic table. Anyway, we have seen what is the shortcut key for dynamic table in the earlier session also. Now we'll see one more shortcut key. Maybe we'll see it one more time. I will press Ctrl T or Ctrl L. I'll make this as a dynamic table. Dynamic table we already know. We already seen in the earlier session itself. Ctrl T or Ctrl L and I'll make this dynamic table. Now this dynamic table, I want to present this dynamic table in a meeting or somewhere else where I want to filter and see only the records of departments. So if you go to that, after converting into a dynamic table on the top, you can see the table design is available here. Earlier version, the table and design will be on the bottom here. So now if you click on the table design, under the table design, there is an insert slicer available here. Correct? Insert slicer, which will be very useful for filtering your table. So let me click on the insert slicer and I select the department name. I select the department name here. You can check anything. I am checking the department name and say OK. A slicer is created for the department. So what is the advantage? If I click on admin, it shows only the admin department here. Admin department will be filtered. Maintenance department will be filtered. Marketing departments will be filtered. But I want to clear that filter. I want to clear the filter. So you can use a shortcut key, Alt C. Alt C is the shortcut key for clearing the slicer, clearing the filter in the slicer. Okay. Now in Excel, you can see if you go to the Home tab, there are some styles available, cell styles. You can see various types of cell styles available. So I want to see the cell styles. So we have a shortcut key, Alt single quote, Alt single quote. Next to L semicolon, next to the semicolon, you can see the single quote is available. If I press Alt single quote, it shows the styles. What are all the styles available? Okay. Right. Let us move on to the next sheet. In the sheet, I have a table. For this table, I want to create a chart. If you want to create a chart in a new sheet, creating a chart in Excel is very simple and very easy. I want to create a chart on a new sheet. So you can use the functional key F11. When you press F11, you can see it has automatically created a new sheet. On a new sheet, a new chart is created here, right? A column chart, default chart of Excel. Let me go to the same sheet. I want the chart to be created in the same existing sheet itself. So you can use another shortcut key, Alt F1, Alt function F1, which will create a chart in the same existing sheet itself. Existing sheet itself, you can see the chart. F11, which will create a chart on a new sheet. Alt F1, which will create a chart on the same existing sheet. Now here I can see there is a chart available and I can see an arrow key is available and I can see a picture is available. If you scroll down, one more chart is available, one more picture is available. I want to hide all the objects available in this. All the objects, maybe a chart or anything, I want to hide it. To hide all the other object here, so you can use the shortcut key Ctrl 6. Ctrl 6 will hide all the objects. Once again, if you press Ctrl 6, it will display all the objects. Ctrl 6 for hiding as well as Ctrl 6 is used for displaying the objects. Okay. Let me go to the next sheet, sheet number 5. You can see there are some tables, same table which we have seen in the earlier part. I want to give a name range for this, name range. So when you use some formulas and functions, you can use the name range also. For example, this range belongs to January month. So I can select this range and I can give a name for it. How can I give a name for it? There are 2 or 3 methods available. You can use the shortcut key Ctrl F3. When I press Ctrl F3, it's asking for a name range. It opens the name manager here. You can go to the name manager and you can click on new. So you can click on new and you can give a name for it. What is the name you want to give? So it automatically takes the first column, first cell, the earlier cell before the range. So you can give the same name or you can rename it. You can give some other name also. And I say, okay, suppose I make it as January itself and I say, okay, or if you want to change it, you can change it here. That's up to you. Now if I say, okay, now from now, name of this range is Jan. What is the usage of this is, suppose I want to find out the sum of this overall grand total of January month, you can just say equal to sum, open bracket. If you know the range, you can type the range. If you don't know the range, you can use another shortcut key F3, function F3. It shows the name range here. What is the name range you have created? So select that name range. There is one more name range available, that is for the slicer, which is automatically created by Excel. Don't worry about it. So I can select the name range, that is F3. You can see your name is displayed and I say OK. And if you close the bracket and enter, it automatically shows me the total of that overall name range. So this is some simple example of using the name range. There are so many other advantages are available on the name ranges also. So what we did is we have selected and we have pressed F3. But I feel this is a little bit tougher. Every time I have to select F3 new and I have to give a name for it. Instead, I want to automatically take this name range, this entire cell, this name range should be FEB, February. So I select it and you can use another shortcut key, Ctrl Shift F3. Function F3, Ctrl Shift F3. So now it's asking, create a name range from the value which top row. So which you want it as the name of this column, name of this range. So the name which is available in the top row. So the name which is available on the top row should be the name of this range, right? So the top row is selected. Say OK, that's it. You can see it would have automatically created a name range in the name of FEB. FEB will be the name of this range. How can I check it? 2 or 3 methods. You can go to the name box here. Click on the name box. You can see there is a name range called as FEB, which is automatically created. Or even you can use the shortcut key Ctrl F3. If you press Ctrl F3, you can see there is a name range created called as FEB. This can be used. Select it, Ctrl Shift F3, and it's asking top row. Top row should be the name of this range. Okay. So this can be done in column wise as well as this can be done in row wise also. For example, this range, I want to give this name, brand name, the total of this month for this Avio is going to be this name range. So I select this. Now I press Ctrl Shift F3. Now automatically it says left column. The name of this range should be which is available on the left column here. Let us say OK. So now if I click here, you can see there is a name range automatically created. So Ctrl F3 can be used, Ctrl Shift F3 can be used also. Now I want to find out the sum of open bracket. If we press F3, it shows what all the name range is created. If you don't want this name range, you can press Ctrl F3 again. So whatever the name range you don't want, you can select it and very simply you can click on delete also. Right? Now, let me go to the next sheet. In this sheet, suppose we have a product category. We have the customer segments, we have the customer name, order ID, order date, unit price, order quantity and sales. Now assume that this order ID I want to be the first column of my table. This should be the first column of my table. So we have to cut it and we have to go there and we have to paste it. Instead, select this and I cut this. You know the shortcut key for cutting, Ctrl X. I am cutting this. And now you can see this automatically, whatever you have copied or pasted, whatever you have copied or wherever you made a cut, that will be available on the clipboard, correct? How can I see the clipboard? Go to the Home tab. Under the Home tab, if you go to the Home tab, you can see there is a small arrow mark available here. If you click on this, you can see that clipboard will be opened up. So let me click on this clipboard. So whatever you have copied, whatever you use the cut, that will be available on the clipboard here. Now I want this to be used. I want this to be as the first column of my table here. So no need for pasting and other things. Just you can use another shortcut key, Ctrl Shift plus. Ctrl Shift plus. That's it. What has happened? You can see the order ID has automatically moved to the first column, and other things have been shuffled here. So Ctrl Shift plus. Okay. Now let me close this clipboard, and I'll go to the next sheet. I have written some formulas here where we look up, multiple lookups, array lookups. The formula is too big. I want to see the formulas here. I want to see the formula. The formula is too big. I am not able to see the entire formula in the screen. So you can expand your formula bar. You can expand or you can collapse the formula bar also. Ctrl Shift U is the shortcut key for expanding your formula bar. Same Ctrl Shift U is for collapsing, decreasing the formula bar height. Ctrl Shift U for increasing and same Ctrl U for decreasing the formula bar. Okay. Now, for example, when you are writing multiple formulas and multiple functions, your system may slow down. So whenever you do some activity, so every time it will calculate your formulas, your system will be a little bit slower. So you can switch off the auto calculate. Auto calculate can be switched off. So let me go to the formula tab. In the formula tab, you can see the calculation option. There is a calculation option in the formula bar. A calculation option, by default it's automatic. So let me convert it to manual. So this will be very useful when you're writing a bigger formula. Whenever you do something, whenever you edit something, what will happen is, suppose I am changing my order ID into 2, it automatically writes for 2 or 3. I'm typing something here. It automatically calculates and it gives the result not only in the sheet, in all the sheets. All the sheet, the calculation will be performed. Every time you do something, automatically it calculates everything. Sometimes it may slow down your system speed. So now I'm going to make this calculation option as manual. So calculation option is manual now. So now what will happen is, if I change into 3 or 4, nothing is happening here. When I change it to 3 or 4 or whatever I do, nothing is changing here. But when I change it to 6, it should calculate here. In the sheet, it has to be calculated. In the sheet, it has to be calculated. Either it can be calculated in the entire file or it can be calculated in the sheet. Suppose I want to calculate only in the active sheet, then you can use the shortcut key Shift F9. Shift F9, you can see the calculation will be happen only in the sheet. Shift F9, the calculation will happen only in the sheet. But I want the calculation should happen in all the sheet. For example, here I'm changing into 7, nothing is happening. And I'll go to the sheet number 6. Suppose I'm changing the quantity into some other. So you can see the sales value is not calculated here. So I want the calculation should be happening in all the sheets opened in this file. So you can use another shortcut keys, all the sheets and all the workbooks at a time, all the sheets and all the workbooks. So you can use the shortcut key F9. When you press F9, you can see the sales here is recalculated, as well as here it shows the order ID details of the 7. So just F9 will calculate all the sheets. Shift F9 will calculate only in the sheets. But if you want to calculate all the worksheet, all the workbook, so then we can use this shortcut key called as F9. Okay. So that's it about all the shortcut keys. We have learned all the shortcut keys on Microsoft Excel. So next we are going to start about the series of all the shortcut keys of PowerPoint. And then we are going to see all the shortcut keys of Word, Outlook, and we are going to see every course in depth. Okay. See you in the next video.